Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video, we're doing something pretty exciting, which is going to be watching the release date trailer for Showdown Bandit. Now, of course, we've had a few teasers for Showdown Bandit in the past, mostly just teasing the game, and if you don't know, this game is the new game from the Bendy and the Ink Machine creators, The Kindly Beast, which is, of course, the studio headed up by the Meatly and Mike Mood, and it's their brand new game, which we don't really know much about at all. So hopefully this trailer is going to show some kind of gameplay footage. It says it's the release date trailer. I'm just looking at their YouTube account now. It says Showdown Bandit release date trailer, so that's pretty exciting. A few months ago we had a trailer which basically said the game will be released in a few months' time, so I'm expecting the release date to be fairly soon, perhaps September or something along those lines, maybe the end of this month even, but who knows. We're going to dive in now, guys, and watch this trailer together. Afterwards we'll do a quick analysis of the trailer. I'll give you my thoughts and what I think of this, and then of course we'll have a look and see if there's anything on the Steam store page as well, which I believe has just gone up at the time of this video as well. So we'll have a look at all that stuff today, guys, in this video. Without further ado, let's dive in and see what this trailer's all about. Here we go. From the creators of Bendy. Oh, look at our little lunchbox. It's very like 1950s, isn't it? Showdown Bandit show.
Hey, kids! Oh, somebody get that no good Showdown.
It's like Toy Story or something.
Keep your hands off me! All right, friends, let's get ready for adventure!
That's kind of creepy. What is that? That looks like one of those things off the teasers for like Ghost thing.
Let's get you out of that box and out into the light.
Getting those Bendy flashbacks off us. Oh man, that is so creepy looking.
It's a big, scary world out here. The show must go on.
Oh no, spiders. Oh wait, has it got like shoot 'em up sections as well? And it looks like it's like an isometric viewpoint, like looking down as well on the character as he moves about. Episode 1, August 29th. For some reason I thought this was like meant to be a full game all at once, but it says episode 1, so now it is an episodic game instead of a full game, I guess. So it's kind of coming out like Bendy in chapters, I guess. Unless episode 1 is a full game and they plan to just release multiple of these games, I'm not sure. Either way, guys, that trailer was pretty awesome because it actually showed a lot of stuff I didn't expect. The first of which was the viewpoint, looking down on your character as you move around. I expected this to be a first-person sort of a game experience, or at the very least a third-person game experience, kind of like Resident Evil. But it's not. It's actually an isometric viewpoint, and what that means is you're looking down on the character, kind of like Binding of Isaac or something like that. These kind of games were very popular in the PS1 days. We also saw that female cowboy as well, who might assist the bandit, who's... I was going to say a damsel in distress, but she's anything but that. She actually seems to be taking out the enemies with you, so I don't think this is a co-op game, but it seems like you will get assistance from characters, kind of like how Henry had assistance from like Boris in Bendy and the Ink Machine. It looks like you will get backup at certain points in this game. It seems like there's going to be some sort of lore to it as well, some kind of mystery, because at the start we had that kind of shadowy figure sat in front of the TV, but they didn't look like a little kid watching the show, perhaps a person controlling it all. And it does seem like some of our theories about the story are correct, like it's set on dilapidated sets. You know, seems like puppets come back to life after the show ended, and it does seem to be set in the sort of 1950s sort of era. So that's kind of interesting that some of those theories have come or seem to have come true. I also really loved the animation of the main character and in fact the side characters as well. It almost has got that like puppet sort of animation style, which is really cool to see, and the art style looks very similar, kind of to Bendy in some ways. It's kind of the Meatly's art style. I think he inspires the art across the studio really, and I like that it has that kind of look again. Definitely Kindly Beast games have a very unique look, which is very different to anything else across the industry, which is nice to see. And it seems like there's a variety of gameplay elements on show here as well, guys, sort of like how we saw the it's third person like Red Dead style like quick draw contest bit, where you can quick draw and like shoot things with your gun, and you have a little rescue vertical aiming. Probably describing it really badly, but I'll put some footage on screen to show you. That was actually really cool. I like that it's not just like top down, that they mix in different styles of gameplay, or at least it would seem that way. I would say this has a lot of promise. It's very different to what I expected. First of all, I expected it was like going to be a full game rather than an episodic release. Secondly, I thought it was going to be first person rather than top down. So it has surprised me. They're not necessarily bad surprises. We'll have to see how it turns out when it comes out, but it definitely has that kind of creepy atmosphere that I was hoping it would have, and seems to be asking lots of questions, which means we should be able to make some interesting theories to do with this game and some good sort of analysis videos like you guys enjoy watching on the channel. But with that said, guys, let's check out the Steam store page, because that's just launched as well, and it's bound to have a lot more information than we got from this trailer. So we're on the Steam page now, guys, and the first thing that we can see here is that it says something unnatural is stirring on the abandoned set of a once popular kids puppet show, Showdown Bandit. Play as the awakened bandit in this stealth action horror, where your only hope of survival is entangled within the free rules of the show. Play your part, guard your strings, and don't look up. So that's just a basic explanation of what the game is, but there is actually a more detailed one beneath it. It says about this game: beware, for years kids tuned in to watch the television puppet world of Showdown Bandit, whose colourful cast performed in front of a live audience of ecstatic children. Then, without warning, the show was unceremoniously cancelled, and the studio, props and puppets were left to rot. Yet somehow the show lives again, and you're in the spotlight. Take control of the bandit himself and explore the dilapidated sets of what was once the glorious Showdown Valley in this top-down stealth action horror game from the makers of Bendy. Try not to lose your wits or your strings as you sneak through the shadowy set, past a menagerie of eerie enemies and helpful inhabitants. Fight only when you must. Don't be afraid to explore the creepiest, darkest corners, as even the slightest clues could help you answer the biggest question of all: who is really pulling the strings? So there we go, guys, some additional information right there from the Steam store page, which I'll leave a link to below if you want to go and wishlist this game and check it out yourself. Of course, do so, support the developers. They've made a game that obviously is something that they really wanted to do after Bendy. It's a very, very sort of radical departure from that, but of course one still within the realm of horror. And interestingly, from this little passage we've had here, it seems to confirm the theory, or a lot of the stuff from the theory we had the other day, which I put up on the channel and I will link to at the end of this video. There are also some pictures on the Steam store page, so let's take a look at those one by one. So the first picture we've got, guys, it sort of shows a little hand above the door here, which means we probably have to kind of click on items which have this hand above, so we're shown like items we can interact with so it doesn't get too confusing. I don't know if that hand as well maybe drags up and down the screen so we can actually see like what's slightly above us, because it always says don't look up, doesn't it? But it's kind of hard to tell. And of course it's kind of cute as well how small the bandit is. If you look at the size of the chairs and the table and stuff, he's like really tiny. You can see there's kind of like cobwebs and stuff all over. I don't know if they come from the spider-like enemies, but I would assume so. The next picture actually has a lot of enemies tied up by the spiders in this kind of string all bound up. So obviously creepy crawlies are going to play a large part in this game, and so it looks like we'll be navigating these spiders' lairs at certain points. It's interesting as well, you can see here that we've actually got the spotlight on the bandit, and that kind of follows him as he walks around, as it would in a normal sort of theatrical stage play or puppet show where the spotlight follows the main protagonist around. And you've got a reload button down here as well in the bottom right, guys, so we can reload our gun. I don't know if we have to sort of maybe just tap the R button to do that, or if we have to mash it to turn the reload wheel down there. I'm not sure, but either way it seems like there might be some kind of mechanic involved in reloading beyond just hitting a key. That's just a picture of the bandit coming out of his box. We saw that, of course. It's kind of almost like a coffin. It's where he's been stored all these years, but obviously that's why the bandit is in such good condition. He has been stored away carefully, whereas a lot of these other puppets have just been left to rot, as it said in the description. So that's kind of interesting, because it kind of shows that he maybe was given a little bit more care than his fellow puppets. because the other puppet as well, the female puppet, also seemed to be in good condition. So perhaps the puppets that were looked after and in good condition became desirable to the puppets that became sort of withered over time, and now we are like trying to escape from all these other puppets which have arisen since the mysterious cancellation of this show. Again, we don't know why the show was cancelled. This is posing lots of questions, and it seems to be suggesting that throughout the game, if we dig for secrets, we will discover about the plot of the game and about the secret reason why this was all cancelled. So it will be a good game to dive into on the channel, and of course we will be doing let's plays of this and all that kind of stuff, guys, so don't worry, you'll be getting a full playthrough on the channel when it comes out. I'm very excited to actually play this. The more I look into it, the kind of more intrigued I actually am. The next picture shows like a graveyard, and you can see some of these really creepy puppets that were teased on the Twitter page recently, the ones that seem to be missing arms and legs that can kind of crawl together, that I've sort of wondered are maybe able to regenerate and kind of come back together of their own accord. They seem to be everywhere in this picture here, just like dotted all around the set, and it also seems to be elevators, so it might be that we can move between different floors of the set and you know, try and sort of solve objectives on different floors, and it might be that there's quite a few like puzzles to solve and quite a lot of ground to cover per level. Next one, again, it shows him sneaking there by the look of it, because there is a lot of stealth obviously involved in this game, guys. It's not just going to be an action game like something like Binding of Isaac. It is going to be a stealth-based game, so we are going to be having to do a lot of sneaking around, not just running in and trying to shoot everything. And finally, we have another picture. This one looks a little bit pixelated, actually. I don't know if maybe it's the game on lower settings or something, but it shows the bandit just investigating one of these puppets. It seems to be coming to life as he's walking towards it, actually, which is pretty creepy. That's actually everything we've been given today for the game, guys. Kind of like a blowout of information, to be honest. Lots of information there to dig through. I might make a follow-up video where we really dig into this and I kind of actually analyze it properly, because I always feel like I miss a ton of stuff when I do these videos talking to camera, but I wanted to do a reaction to the game today and sort of give my opinion of it. So my basic sort of takeaway is that this is an exciting game project, obviously, something very different from Bendy, a refreshing looking horror game, which we don't see too often these days. Let's be honest, there's a lot of sort of very similar ones coming out, so it's nice that they've gone in a different direction. It might not be something that I was personally like too excited for initially, the isometric viewpoint, but after seeing it in motion in that trailer, you know, I've kind of got like an idea of how they're gonna make it work, and also of course mixing in different gameplay styles, and of course the cutscenes which bring to life other characters within this world. It's nice to know we're not just going to be fighting enemies, but there are going to be helpful characters as well. There's a lot to look into with this game, guys, but of course we don't have to wait long. One of the most exciting pieces of information is that it is coming out August 29th. So later this month we will be doing a complete playthrough of episode 1 of Showdown Bandit. So don't you guys worry, we'll be covering that and all the secrets and theories to do with this game throughout September thereafter. If you do want to follow my channel, guys, remember just hit that subscribe button down below, give this video a like, and of course leave a comment for me in the description below. It really is helpful. And follow Kindly Beast and Showdown Bandit on their respective Twitter accounts and YouTube channel so that you can keep up with their information as it happens from the developers directly. But with that said, that brings us to the end of this video, which I hope you have enjoyed. I will see you guys on the next one.